What's going on YouTube? It's your boy CoinCoverage here, bringing you a new cryptocurrency video. And guys, in today's video, I'm going to be taking a look at Bitcoin's price specifically and where I think this will take it for the rest of the year in 2018. Now, Bitcoin's a pretty interesting topic because it's very there's a lot of various opinions on Bitcoin, and I'm going to take Bitcoin from a financial standpoint rather than my own opinion and look at the charts itself in the previous data that we've collected throughout the years. So I'm specifically going to look at 2016 and 2017 in this video. So as you can see, we're going to start back in September, end of September of 2016. And we're going to see how Bitcoin rose until January of 2017. Now, you might see a similar reflection to the beginning of 2018. As we can see, we saw Bitcoin absolutely skyrocket throughout December, November, all the way to first time it ever hit 1,000, I believe, or actually no, about the second time, I believe in 2014 we did hit 1,000 on Bitcoin. And then we had a pretty sizable correction back down, it's about 850, and then we kind of rose back up since. Now, I know we've had corrections. We've had pretty big corrections throughout February and January every week or so often. But as you can see, guys, the chart is pretty much similar to what we see right here, just in a bigger scheme of things with more money being dealt, obviously more capital. So we take a look right here. This is about the same time when Bitcoin had a dramatic crash, right in the midst of January. It might not be exactly the same date, like this one was January 5th, and this one obviously was January 28th, although we have been going down since about January 5th or 6th as well, so it's pretty accurate. So what do I think about this? This is just Bitcoin, by the way. I'm not talking about cryptocurrencies as a whole. But if we follow the same chart we see with Bitcoin here, we should see it rise from about February to where we are about now, all the way until May, June, and July. The reason being is because we saw the exponential run-up, the big run-up we saw in Bitcoin throughout these months, from May or from January when it crashed all the way up. We've had a couple bumpy roads there. But all the way up, we had basically a bull market until we had a pretty sizable correction back in September, and then we went up from there. So I do think this cycle will repeat itself. So we have the bull run, or the bull run right here, the crash from what we saw right here. The bull run once again, another correction, another bull run, another correction, and then a bull run all the way up to here. A correction, we kind of bounced back up, and then in the midst of January, in the beginning of January, we kind of had a huge correction. Probably one of Bitcoin's biggest, all the way down to about 5K, a little above 5K, and then we kind of bounced back up into where we are now. We're kind of getting back in that bull market phase. However, we did go down quite a bit today, 11%. However, I do think this is probably going to be the last major correction for Bitcoin and altcoins until maybe around May or June. We might see a little bit of a correction as we saw here, probably around May when we saw Bitcoin, or July when we saw Bitcoin dip below 2K. However, I don't think we're going to see a tremendous correction anymore in Bitcoin's price unless there's some bad news coming out or something. But from the statistics, from a financial point, if we look at the repetitive market we're seeing here, it probably should only be going up from here in terms of market cap. However, I'm not to say this isn't financial advice, that this will be for sure a thing. However, from what it seems like is, or from what I'm looking at here, repeating in 2017, I think 2018 will be a very similar year to 2017, not in terms just of Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin won't go up as much as it did in 2017. However, I do think altcoins will blow up the same way and follow the similar pattern that Bitcoin is, because obviously the market follows with Bitcoin. Altcoins are priced under Bitcoin, so you really have to take a look at Bitcoin to determine the whole market, essentially. So, not to say there's not a few catalysts that don't follow Bitcoin, but yeah, I'm pretty excited overall for this year. As we can see, we've already recovered quite a bit from 5K all the way back up to 10,500. So if you would have bought Bitcoin at a nice dip, like I said, if you watch my video, you want to buy when everyone's talking shit about Bitcoin. You want to buy when everyone's like, buy Bitcoin. You want to buy when the hype has died down. Right now, this is a great buying opportunity, in my opinion. You're getting at a nice $10,000 discount, or not 10,000, or yeah, actually essentially from the 20K highs. But yeah, Bitcoin at this price, in my opinion, is a steal. We did see it bounce above the 200-day, and we're starting to see some resistance right to the 100-day, as we saw here, nearly broke 12K. That would have been huge, but unfortunately, we got a nice correction. But I do think this is a reasonable correction, because this is a daily chart, by the way, guys. We have seen a lot of green candles come about here, so it's due for a correction. However, these small corrections really shouldn't, make you FUD at all. These should be little standpoints where you add. And this is going to be, the summer is usually for cryptocurrency a huge deal because everyone's off work typically, or some people, I guess. Everyone's off school. People are focusing on cryptocurrency. No one has college classes. A lot of people tend to look at the charts more and like to trade more. And the market gets a little bit more volatile. However, I do think ever since we hit this oversold area like we did back in 2017 as well, we have gone up really since. We haven't hit it back since September's crash right here. Or I mean, this correction is pretty sizable though. And then we finally, once we got a little bit overbought here, we kind of, went down since then and hit the oversold point again, and we're kind of bouncing back up. So if you use even the RSI will probably tend to repeat itself as well. Back in, the summer of 2017, back here, we do see that being the overbought side quite a bit and ever jumped back ever since the big correction back in July. So whenever we see a big correction hit the bottom or below the RSI, we typically see it come above it as well. So I'm just using technical analysis right here, and I know a lot of people don't like TA. However, this market works really well TA if it's just a normal market. If there's no news catalyst pushing it up or down, or extreme ones like bans and shit like that, the market, remains relatively stable, and, you're able to do some TA regarding price action. So, however, I do think if there is big news, TA doesn't really work too much, but for just seeing a steady market, I do think it's essentially a good way to determine price levels at certain points of years and months, and days actually. So where do I predict Bitcoin to be at the end of the year? I hate when people ask me this. Well, I don't really hate it, but it's hard to answer because the end of the year is such a long time. I don't know if you guys realize it. When we see Bitcoin, go from the beginning of 2017, like nearly probably about $1,000 all the way to about 17K. It's unbelievable, the growth. That's 17x right there. I don't really know. That's like no one could really predicted that truly, that exact amount, or even remotely. Everyone thought it wouldn't even hit 10K. It would hit 10K right about now, people thought, which it is. But we did hit that 20,000 level, or just about. So will we go back up there? I do think Bitcoin will reach back up there. However, altcoins will probably tend to follow. I do predict Bitcoin to probably hit 25K at max by the end of the year. Won't necessarily be 25K at the end of the year, but I do think it'll hit 25K sometime this year. That's just my prediction. That's not financial advice. Don't buy into Bitcoin and guarantee it 2.5x. I don't think it will not hit 30K at the end of the year. Maybe not, definitely not 50K. Some people are saying 50K. I'm like, no, I don't know. That's a little up there. The market cap would have to be, essentially 5 times what it is now, and that'd be basically over $1 billion or $1 trillion, excuse me. So, just for Bitcoin's market cap. And if Bitcoin ended up hitting 50K, I don't even know what altcoins want to be priced at that point. The market cap would have to be at least, $3 trillion if we look at the BTC dominance as of now, unless it rises or lowers. But at least 2 trillion for sure, because BTC dominance tends to fall below 50% for the most part. So, yeah, I do see BTC dominance going up quite a bit, and that's kind of the same market repetition we see too, as the BTC dominance typically goes up after a big crash, and then altcoins will follow. That's what we're kind of seeing right here. BTC gaining some of its dominance back, gaining some of its capital back. And that's essentially why we really haven't seen altcoins bounce to the highs that we were expecting after this big, crash. That's because it takes time for Bitcoin. People are going to have more confidence in Bitcoin. People are going to put their money back into Bitcoin, and then they're going to start buying altcoins, and altcoins start running up. So we'll have to wait for that to happen. However, I do predict that to happen probably in the middle of March. That's just a prediction, nothing guaranteed. But yeah, guys, what do you guys think of this big or small correction? I guess it's somewhere going down 20-21%, double digits, as you can see across the board. We have a few players in the green here, but what do you guys think of the Bitcoin market right now? Is it too volatile for you? Are you guys expecting to hit 50K, 30K this year? What do you think Ethereum will hit? Ripple? I don't know. All your altcoins, your precious altcoins. Icon. We're going to take a look at Icon real quick. At a $3.94 discount, down 10 or 11%. Icon's been getting murdered lately, but I do believe in Icon in 2018. I'm gonna hold it regardless. So if you guys keep funding it, I'm sorry, you're not gonna change my mind. I love Icon. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video, and take care, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace.